This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome on another sunset safari on a cloudy and somewhat gloomy day here in South Africa. My name is Jamie, and this afternoon Craig, Batman himself, is on camera with me, and we're coming to you live from a place called Djuma Private Game Reserve, which is in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. Now, I don't want the elephants to disappear off into the distance, so we'll watch them while we talk through a little bit. So today we are joined by students from Riverbend Elementary as well as Diamond Springs Elementary. So welcome to you guys. We have a mixture of kids from 4 to 8 years old. Look at the baby elephant. Now what you are watching what you are watching is happening right here in real life here in South Africa. So you're actually watching a baby elephant play. Now what that means is that you get to ask us all sorts of questions that you've always wanted to know about the amazing animals of Africa. For our regular viewers, keep sending through your questions in the normal way. #SafariLive. Look, there's another one on Twitter, alternatively on the YouTube chat stream, and we'll get to your questions once the kids have to go back to the much more boring part of their school day. Sorry, teachers. Now, Layla, you want to know why is an elephant's trunk so big? Now, an elephant's trunk is actually an amazing thing because it can stretch right out to the tops of trees to grab the leaves. Look, run. And it can also reach right down to its feet in order to drink water. So imagine if an elephant had to eat without a trunk. It would struggle really hard to get a good bite out of the leaves. So that the trunk is long so that it can wrap around leaves and grass and transfer it from the trees or the grass into their mouths. They also use their trunks to drink. Not like a straw. What they'll do is they will kind of breathe up through their nose, but they don't breathe the water in. They suck the water up into their trunks, and then they take their trunks up to their mouths and they blow the water into their mouths. Isn't that crazy? What a strange way. Imagine if you had to drink like that. I don't know if you've ever got water up your nose by mistake, but you know it's very uncomfortable. But for the elephants, they're not bothered about it at all. So there we go. Layla sent through a question. Remember, you can as well. There's lots and lots of things to know about these amazing animals. So while you think about the questions that you would like to ask us, we're not just in South Africa. There's actually somebody up in Kenya, which is all the way up on the eastern side of the African continent, far away. His name is Steve.
Boys and girls, and welcome to the Mara Triangle in Kenya. My name is Steve, and I'm joined on camera by Big James. And well, it is a wonderful day out here. It is a 30 degrees and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a marvelous afternoon, and we are out. And what we're looking for is some lions. Would you like to see lions? Yes? Come on, let's see if we can go find some. Are you ready? Let's go. We see some vehicles in the distance, and we think they might have some lions. The Mara Triangle, there are a lot of vehicles that drive around here looking for animals. Wow, Ryan, that's a great question. You want to know how many times a lion eats in a day? Well, it really depends, Ryan, on how big the animal is that they catch. So if they catch a small animal, they might only eat once. But if they catch a really big animal like a giraffe or a buffalo, they can feed 5, 6, 7 times until the animal is completely gone. I've seen lions on a giraffe for 2, 3 days, constantly just feeding. As they get hungry, they feed again, then they lie down, feed again, lie down. So it really depends on how big the animal is. But a very good question. A lion can eat a huge amount of food in one sitting, probably between 60 and 80 pounds in one go. Can you imagine that? Whew. That would be one very full stomach, wouldn't it? 60 to 80 pounds in your belly. Can you imagine that much food? I don't even think our entire camp could eat that in a week. But lions are remarkable animals, and just up ahead we've got some vehicles that are busy looking at something. We don't know what yet because the grass is very long, but we are allowed to drive off-road out here. We've got special permission to do so, and so we are going to see if we can get a little bit closer to whatever's hiding in the grass. But there's a couple vehicles over there, and well, they generally are either looking at lion, cheetah, leopard, so who knows, we might be lucky with a lion. But anyway, all the way back down in South Africa, Lauren is out on drive, and she's got one of the newest and cutest addition to the Djuma family.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Right now we have a herd of impala. Now impala are a type of antelope, and here we have boy impalas and girl impalas. So the one we're looking at right now has horns on its head, so that means that it's a boy impala. The girl impalas do not have any horns. And within the herd somewhere we have baby lambs, very small, tiny, newborn baby lambs. So my name is Lauren, and please do send in your questions using that hashtag SafariLive, and let's see if we can find a little lamb for you. Yes, there we go. Look how small that little impala is. It is so cute. Now it is lambing season, so we are seeing a lot of baby impalas around right now. So this one could only be about a week old. So it's really, really small and new to the world. But the most amazing thing about this baby impala is that it was born ready to take on the world. They can stand and walk really soon after birth. And you can see it's having a look at us right now. Oh, it's having a little scratch. So they're able to run very, very quickly after birth. And this is so that they can keep up with their herd, follow their mummy, and make sure that they can escape any predators that might be around. Now it's a little bit difficult to tell if this one would be boy or girl because the horns don't come till later. Are any animals endangered, or are impalas endangered? Any animals endangered? That is a really good question. Yes, there are many animals that are endangered and on the IUCN Red List. So for example, rhinos. We have a little bit of a problem here with the rhino populations due to poaching. So the most endangered around this area would be the rhinos. And we also have wild dogs. Now they're one of my favourite animals that I saw on my first live drive, and their populations are unfortunately going down and down and down. So yes, many animals are endangered. But funny you asked that question. Impalas are not. Their populations are thriving. They're very successful in this habitat, and there's so many impalas around. And now there's so many baby impalas around. Isn't that so cute? Oh, something's annoying it. Mrs. Carter, that's a good question. Yes, these lambs are walking very quickly after birth. It's almost instinct. They can just stand on their own 2 feet and start walking within the hour. So it's very different from humans who have to learn these skills, and it takes a long time for them to learn to be able to walk. These baby impalas are born ready. Oh, there we go. Look at it. Just springing off to join the others, possibly even mother is over there. And it literally does just look like a mini version of the adults. It will probably grow very quickly. It will grow into adult form very, very soon. So while we enjoy this lovely herd of impalas, let's go across to Jamie with an elephant.
Now, the baby elephant is hiding behind the trees at the moment, or at least it's not really hiding. It just happened to move that way while you were with Lauren looking at that tiny baby impala. There it is. Look at that. Now, Lauren's been telling you about when baby impala learn to walk. Now, just like baby impala, baby elephants will also learn to walk quite quickly as well, almost as soon as they are born. But remember how we spoke about the trunk and how important it is? Now, a baby elephant actually doesn't know how to use its trunk, and it takes them time to learn how to use it. So you know how when you had to learn how to write, or perhaps some of you are actually learning how to write, and you're doing your letters and making sure that they're the right shape? Well, it's something similar for a baby elephant, except it's got to learn how to twist its trunk and use it to reach up for leaves and bits of grass, and even learning how to use it to drink. And when baby elephants drink, a lot of the time they actually make quite a mess, and they spray water absolutely everywhere. Sometimes they don't even use their trunk at all. They have to bend down to drink, which the adults do not have to do. You'll notice that there's another vehicle here, another car. That's because people come to see these animals on safari. So imagine how amazing it must be to see them like this. Oh, look at this. How cool is this? There we go. Look at the elephant using its trunk to reach up to the high branches, stretching right up and pulling down the leaves. There we go. See what a perfect example that is. Now Ezekiel, you want to know why elephants walk for such a long time and why they do that. Well, remember that elephants have very, very long legs. Now, if you were to stand on your friend's shoulders, you would maybe just be able to touch close to the top of an elephant's shoulder, if it was a small elephant. So they've got really, really long legs, and that means every time they take a step, they cover lots of ground. So perhaps you have a tall friend, or maybe you're the tall friend. When you go outside, you can go walk next to each other. And the reason that they do this is so that they can get lots of food in different places. Now, there's something very special that Steve wants to show you all the way across in Kenya, something a little bit smaller than these elephants.
Yes, well, welcome back. It wasn't lions that everyone was looking at. It was, in fact, a cheetah. There's a male cheetah there. He's quite far away now. You can see the zebra in the distance. Now, we're not going to be able to drive off-road at this very moment because there are lots of other vehicles who want to go in, and they don't have the same permission we have. And if we go in, they're going to follow, and then someone's going to get into trouble. So we're just going to sit here from the distance and see with our amazing camera what that cheetah gets up to. The zebra are a little bit too big for a cheetah. It is the fastest land mammal in the world. Can you believe it? And, well, it would probably catch one of the baby zebras. And those impalas that you saw there with Jamie, those are perfect food for cheetah. But right now, he's walking into the thickets. We're going to have to try and get another position on the side here and see if we can find him. But how exciting was that cheetah? Awesome to see. One of the best and coolest animals ever to find. Because, well, just so fast. Hayden and Gage, you want to know how fast they can run? They can run, let me work it out for you, just over 55 miles an hour. Isn't that incredible? 112 kilometers an hour, it's been recorded. It's about 55, somewhere around there, miles an hour. That is extremely fast. Extremely fast. And what they do is they catch their animals with extreme speed. That is how it works. Lots and lots of speed, and well, these open areas are ideal. Oh, sorry, very bumpy roads here. These open areas are ideal for cheetah hunting, but it's not going to be looking for the zebra. Going to be looking for something a little bit smaller. Well, those vehicles seem to have gone off-road there, haven't they, James? Okay, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do here to keep up with this cheetah. Now go in here, Sheila. Just going to gauge it quickly and figure out where we're going to go from here next. Just bear with us. Let's see if we can see. Okay, well, while we try and find where this cheetah's gone, let's go back down to South Africa with Jamie, who's got her very beautiful elephants.
Okay, well, hopefully Steve manages to catch up with that cheetah. Now, unfortunately, both of the little baby elephants that were with this herd have now moved into some thick vegetation. But here comes one big elephant walking past. Now, that is a big old female. Now, elephants can live almost as long as people can. So the oldest elephants, and they're usually the female elephants, can sometimes be up to around 70, sometimes even 75 years old. Although that's a very, very old elephant. And they live together in families. So the females will stay in the herd that they're born into for the rest of their lives, raised by their mothers and their mothers' sisters, so their aunts and their cousins, and they have friends to play with. Males, on the other hand, when they reach about, when they're teenagers, then it's time for them to move on, and they actually spend their lives away from the rest of the herd. Well, these elephants were so nicely out in the open, but unfortunately, we were speaking about how they cover great distances in order to feed. Well, this is where they're going. This is where they've decided the best food is. We're going to try for a quick view of them, and then we're going to go and search for something else with spots. That's not a cheetah. It is, in fact, a leopard. Olivia, that is a very good and very scientific question. Here we go, there's the little baby. Now, Olivia wants to know how much an elephant's poop weighs. Olivia, I'll see if I can even find some elephant poop for you so that we can have a good look at it. An elephant poop weighs quite a lot. And in fact, an elephant can defecate out. It poops out about a third of what it eats. So in one day, an elephant can poop around 60 pounds of, well, poop. So we'll see if we can find some. One big elephant poop, which is one ball of poo, weighs around about probably 4 or so pounds. So just around about, just under 2 kilograms. But that's a very good question because it tells you a lot about how much elephants have to eat all day in order to stay as large as they are. Now for this little tiny one over there, it's not ready to eat solid food yet. Just like babies, those of you who have siblings or cousins who are still using a bottle, this little baby isn't ready to eat solid food yet, but it will get there. But it will still drink mum's milk. So it'll eat leaves at around about 6 months old, and it will continue to suckle from mum. Just hold on one. Oh, no, we're good. All good. I thought I was going to have to move out of the way. Look how fuzzy it is. Now, the whole class would like to know how tall that baby elephant is. Now, it looks really, really small next to its mother, but a baby elephant like that is probably around about 2 feet tall, just over 2.5 feet tall. So it's actually quite tall, and in fact can weigh, sometimes they're born and they weigh almost up to 100 kilograms, so over 200 pounds. So it looks really small, but if that little baby elephant came running at you, it could actually knock you over, because they're surprisingly big and surprisingly strong. But luckily we don't have to worry about that, because the little baby elephant is perfectly happy with us and is ignoring us completely. It's so cute. Julian, another very good question. Julian would like to know why it is that animals have tails. Now, an animal's tail tells us a lot about the animal. So for elephants, hear it using it as a fly swatter. So to sweep around that area around the back of the legs to keep the flies from settling. But tails can also be used to tell an animal's mood. So remember that animals don't have lots of words to talk to each other in the same way we do as human beings. They speak to each other through a combination of some sounds, but mostly through body language. So you know when you frown or you smile at your friend to say either you're cross with them or you're happy to see them? It's kind of like that, except it's a bit more complicated. So an elephant's tail actually tells the other elephants whether or not it is scared, or if it is relaxed, or if it is frightened, or if it is angry. And the same goes for dogs and cats as well. You know, those of you with dogs, you know if your dog wags its tail, it's showing that it's happy. Or if your cat swishes its tail from side to side, it's telling you that it's angry, that it's cross. Well, it's the same for all animals out here. Now, some animals can use their tails for other things as well, like monkeys. Monkeys can use their tails to help to grab branches and hold them on the tree. And the cheetah that Steve showed you, that cheetah's tail actually helps to balance it when it's running really, really fast. The tail stretches out behind it and helps to keep it from falling over because it's running so fast that sometimes it actually has to change direction, and if it didn't have its tail, it would fall down. So tails can be used for lots of different things. Imagine how cool it would be to have a tail as a human being. I often wish I had a tail. People think I'm strange for saying that, but I think it would be very cool. Okay, our Ellies are actually moving off a little bit. I want to go and see if we can find you that spotted cat. So hang on, we'll see if we can find some elephant poop along the way. Let's go investigate. So elephants poop a lot, as we spoke about, so perhaps they've left some somewhere on the road. I'm just going to drive all the way backwards. Okay, while we look for some elephant dung to show you, as well as the cat I'm looking for, let's go across to somebody that you have not met yet. His name is David, and he is all the way up in Kenya.
A very good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to me, or welcome to David. And my name is David, and with me today is Manu. Manu, how are you? And we're very excited to have all of you, and I'm sure everybody else, all my friends have told you, should you have any questions, please ask questions or any comments you may have through your teachers. And at the moment, I don't have any animal as yet, but I just want to show you how beautiful a place I work in. We're in the Mara Triangle in Kenya, and hopefully those elephants will be found. If they don't get the elephants they promised you, I could surprise you by being the person to get the elephants. Now, if you look carefully, all what you see is an open area with grass and one tree here, one tree there. So this kind of vegetation is called savanna. It's a bit different from what you saw in South Africa, because in South Africa, the vegetation, it's more of thickets or many trees. So we'll keep driving, and if I get those lions, or if I get those elephants rather, I will let you know. But in the meantime, my friend got a spotted cat for you.
Yes, well, we have managed to find him again. Here he is. Isn't he beautiful? The spotted cheetah, the world's fastest mammal, fastest land animal, in fact. Beautiful spots. You see, the spots are solid, as if you took a crayon and drew them in. The leopard spots are actually not solid like that, like a rose, so they sort of got a round bit and then a little bit of gold inside, whereas the cheetah spots are black, completely black, And believe it or not, it actually helps to camouflage them very well out here. Because even though they are very fast, they need to try and sneak up as close to the animals as they can before launching that very fast sprinting attack of 55 miles an hour. And proper acceleration, though, if you know what that means, when they start running, they get very fast, very, very quickly. Hello, Brian. You want to know how sharp their teeth are? Well, they're definitely sharper than our teeth. The cheetah's not known for being the most powerful of the cats, but their teeth are very sharp. They're able to cut into skin, and they've got also quite a powerful jaw to when they catch their animal. They put their mouth on the throat or on the nose, and they suffocate them. And they have very sharp teeth to do that. And then the teeth, hopefully, he'll open his mouth a little bit better. You can see the teeth in the front, and they are very sharp. Obviously much sharper than our teeth. All predators' teeth are very sharp, but they do wear down a lot with age. But this is a beautiful male. We don't really know who he is. We saw him for what we think the first time this morning, and well, here he is walking through the beautiful long grass for you. And obviously he is going to walk behind us, so we're going to have to reposition our car so that we can see him. If you give us one moment. Hello, Kaylee. You want to know how big a cheetah is? Well, a big male cheetah can get up to about 140 pounds. A female, maybe 110 pounds, maybe even less, 100 pounds at the most. They don't get very big. But that is to enable them to be very fast on the landscape. Just going to stop here and watch him walk through the beautiful long grass for you. Now, this individual cheetah probably weighs around 130 odd pounds. Oh, here we go. He's just plopped down. Just plopped down in the long grass. There you can just see his tail. You see how the spots make for very, very good camouflage. He's been walking for some distance in the sun. That's probably made him a little bit warm. And so now he's gone down into the grass and he's vanished. Imagine if James... Oh, there we go. His head is up again. Isn't he beautiful? A little bit of a scratch. Time for a little bit of grooming, of course. And he's probably looking for something to catch out in the open plains, but something that is more suitable for his size. So the impala that you saw earlier with Lauren, that's a perfect size food. And animals smaller than that are the perfect prey animals for cheetah, as well as any babies that might be around. So baby zebra, baby wildebeest, and things like that. But mama wildebeest and mama zebra can be quite defensive over their youngster, and well, sometimes will turn around and fight the cheetah. That's what they do best, looking after their kids. Very, very good parenting. But we're going to see if we can get another view. I've completely lost him now that James has taken off the frame. See if you can find him. He's gone, completely camouflaged. Ezekiel, well, you want to know why they're so spotted? Well, have a look. Can you see him? No, because the spots, what the spots do on all animals that have spots is that the spots are designed to break up their sort of patterning, their coloration. So they sort of blend into the leaves, they blend into the grass. It's camouflage, really. Like if anybody goes hunting, they wear camouflage clothes so that they disappear in the vegetation. It's exactly what a cheetah does. It wants to hide from predators, and it also wants to be able to sneak up as close as it possibly can to any of the animals they want to catch. Because although they are very fast, they're not able to run very fast for very long. And most of the animals out here, well, if they see a cheetah, they will just keep away from him and get away as many times as they need to, because the cheetah can only run that speed for a few hundred yards, and then he gets tired and overheats. It's like your dad's car and the engine. If you took the water out and revved the engine too much, it'll overheat, it'll burn out. So that's what happens to the cheetah. He gets very hot, has to sit down and lots of breathing to cool down again, because it's an enormous amount of effort that goes into running. And here he is. Have a look how well camouflaged he is in the long grass there. He's just on, there we go. You see how, Ezekiel, how well the spots help him to disappear into the grass. Ada, of course they scratch. Cheetah scratch. All cats scratch. That's what you wanted to know. If they scratch, well, they often will scratch onto trees and rub their faces, but their claws really are very much like that of a dog. Their claws don't go back inside. Like, you know, if you've ever played with a normal domestic cat, their claws are inside their feet, and when they want to play with you or fight you, they pull them out, and then that scratches and makes you bleed. Well, the cheetah's toenails, which are out all the time, are very blunt, like that of a dog, because they're using them for running. If you've ever gone running on the track at home, you use shoes that have got nice grip underneath. Well, that is what the cheetah has the nails for. And, well, I suppose it would scratch you just like any dog. If it jumped on you, it would scratch. But they're not very, very sharp, so they will hurt. But they're not going to rip too badly. But their thumb, which is the claw right up on their thumb, called their dew claw, that, with all cats, they use that for catching the prey. The cheetah runs very fast behind and then will just scoop it from behind with its dew claw, which is the claw I can show you on my hand in a moment. It's that claw that the cheetah and most cats have got up here on the wrist. Have you seen that before? That really sharp one when a cat does this to you, that really sharp one that hooks around the side, that is always very painful. Well, the cheetah, that one is very, very sharp. But these of the cheetah here are very blunt, like that of a dog, to enable them to run very, very fast. But look at that. Completely disappeared in the long grass. This is cheetah habitat. This is where they live. And we're so special to be able to spend time with them. Can you tell me the name of that person again, please, Emma? I didn't get the name. Eden, you want to know if cheetah have belly buttons? Well, I have absolutely no idea. I've never seen a belly button on a cheetah. Well, most mammals don't have the same sort of, well, I don't really know right now. Cheetah, when they are born, they're not attached to mum by their belly. They come in a sack. So we have belly buttons because we're physically attached to mum by our umbilical cord. That's what that long cord that gives us all of our life while we're inside when mum's pregnant. But I don't know about cats. They come in like a sack inside. But it's a very good question, Eden. Very, very good question. I don't know. I've never seen one on a cheetah. They've got a very smooth belly. I always want to go and scratch it. Lots of nice, beautiful hair there. But we don't go and touch our animals out here because they are wild. And they're all potentially dangerous. But there he is. He's gone. He's doing exactly what a cheetah does best and hiding in the long grass. And maybe in the next little while we'll see him spot something that looks good for dinner and he might go and catch it, but who knows. This is 100% live and anything could happen at any moment. He could stand up or he could stay sleeping for the rest of the afternoon. We really have no idea. Okay, well, I know someone asked Jamie a question about how much elephant dung weighed. Let's go and have a look.
Well, I've got a little surprise for you sitting on the front of the car, but you can't see it yet because I'm actually racing on my way to show you the cat I was looking for. Somebody's found him, and unfortunately it looks as though he could wander into an area where we cannot go. So I want to just try and get to him as quickly as possible so that you can see a different kind of big cat. So you've seen a cheetah with Steve. Now I'm going to try and take you to see a leopard. So a cheetah is very, very fast. A leopard is very, very strong. But let's see if we can get to him. If you can spot some of the differences between a cheetah and a leopard. So you have to look very closely, and you're going to have to remember what you saw with Steve. And then you're going to have a close look at this leopard, and let's see if you can spot the difference. Okay, copy, thanks. Orbs, I'm on power lines now. Okay, We're going to concentrate really hard on finding that leopard. I'm sorry, I was just busy talking to one of the other vehicles. While we do, let's go across to David, who is in the Masai Mara, and he has a striped animal to show you.
Well, hopefully, Jamie, you're going to catch up with something nice for the boys and girls, because if you happen to catch up with the leopard, leopards have also been known to hunt zebras. Now, we got zebras here, boys and girls, and I'm sure you all know zebras got stripes, black and white stripes, and I want to ask you a quiz, boys and girls. Do you think zebras are black with white stripes? Or do you think the zebras are white with black stripes? Hopefully that's better. And I want to tell you, boys and girls, that the zebras are similar to the horses. They're in the same family with the horses. Look at that. Remember, boys and girls, I told you, should you have any questions or any comments, don't be shy to send them through your teachers. Zosie, very good. You have asked the first question to me. What does a zebra eat? Now, I'm sure someone might have told you all these animals, or the animals that are called herbivores, are animals that eat green matter. Now, Zosie and the other boys and girls, if you look at those zebras, and this one particular one at the back, you see how she's bending down, and zebras eat grass. Zebras eat grass more than anything else. But once in a while, you might see them eating small little bushes or leaves. But in general, zebras eat grass. Notice how they're flicking their tails left and right, right and left. It's because should they have any flies, the tails will get rid of those flies. And you see the tails look like of a horse. Ezekiel, good question. You were number 2 to ask me a question. Why are they flicking their tails? Those are some of the questions that I like. Now, it's a bit warm where we are. You can see there's a lot of sunlight on those zebras. And what will happen, there'll be some flies that are going to land on their bodies or on their skins. Now, these flies are going to irritate or are not going to make these zebras very happy. And the only way the zebras can get rid or can get them out of their skins or bodies is just by shaking them or flicking their tails. That's why you see them moving their tails from each direction to see as much as they can get rid of the flies. Another thing why they will do that, should maybe other animals like lions look at them, the zebras will always try to flick their tails so that the lions can see these zebras are not sleeping. Isn't that interesting? So when the lions look at them from a distance, or cheetahs like what Steve has, they'll see, okay, those zebras, as much as they are bending their heads, eating the grass, they are not snoozy, they are not sleepy, they're very much awake. So the lions or the cheetahs or the leopards will not go to them. So this area, if you look carefully, the grass is very short, and zebras will always love to eat the short grass because it's very nutritious. Is it funny how fast can a zebra go? A zebra can go up to about 35-40 miles in 1 hour. They're very fast animals, but of course it depends on the age. The small ones may not run as old as the big one. The age is also important. Look at that one and see how the wind is just shaking her tail. So they will bend down, eat a bit of grass, and if they finish eating the fresh grass or the green grass, they will go in to look for other much better grass. She might stop and look around and find out what could be happening. All right, boys and girls, it's nice to see the zebras. Now I'll move on and maybe I might get something else for you interesting. Okay. So this area we are in is a very good area also for cheetahs. Just like Steve saw, cheetahs love short grass. and they love the short grass because we got small antelopes that will come to stay on that short grass that are called Thompson gazelles, and that's the #1 food for the cheetah. We are going to try and show you the Thompson gazelles from a distance. Let's see if we can catch them, and you see what I'm talking about, where the cheetahs love the short grass, because the Thompson gazelles will always come and eat this short grass, and when they come to eat the short grass, the cheetahs will always get the food. See how small those antelopes are? And those ones are called Thompson gazelles. Sometimes I call them the Tommies. So that one have eaten enough, is just resting, doesn't want to keep eating, is chewing maybe the grass that she had eaten before. But these ones are still eating. And look at the speed that they are flicking their tails, comparing to the zebras that we saw earlier, or the zebra in the background there. These ones are rather fast. Chwee, 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 chwee. And they move their tails very quickly. Now look at those two zebras, and there's a little bird in front of those zebras, and it's a kind of a francolin. So these two, they must be seeing the same grass that they both love to eat. And look at the tails. They're not flicking as fast as the ones we saw with the Thompson gazelles. Now we'll go back to Thompson gazelles and just try and compare the difference in terms of speed or the frequency. Look at the Tommies. It's like they have a machine on the tail. And again, for the same purpose or reason that I spoke before, that they want to get the flies away, should they be having any flies, but also letting the animals that would come for them to know that they are not sleeping, they are awake. And you see how peaceful the animals in the African wilderness are. We have Thompson gazelles just eating the grass on one side, and the zebras eating grass on the other side. Isn't that wonderful, boys and girls? For the animals to coexist peacefully and happily, because they have a lot of food to eat. William, I think you asked, the zebras are fast, and yes, they're very fast. They're fast because if anything will chase them, they need to run. If you look at them carefully, William, they do not have any horns. And because they don't have any horns to fight or defend themselves, their first defense, or the only way they can help themselves, is just by running very fast. But I'll tell you what, that small antelopes, or those small antelopes you're seeing there, those are the fastest antelopes that we have here in Africa. They run very fast, almost 60 to 70 miles in an hour. You can imagine. But now these ones, like the zebras, you'll get, they have horns, but very small horns. Males have horns, and the females have horns, but much smaller than on the males. There's an ostrich in the background there. Excuse me, man spotted an ostrich. If you look carefully at the back, there's a big bird that's just walking. She got her head down. It is the very much background there. And that one is called an ostrich. And just to let you know, there are two of them. In fact, Manu has found two. These two birds here are birds that do not fly. All the other birds that we got in Africa do fly, but the ostriches do not fly. They don't have as much, feathers on their bodies to fly, but above all, they are very heavy. So they always remain on the ground. But for defense, if they'll be scared or they'll have a problem from something, they also run very fast, more or less like the same speed Steve was telling you about with the cheetah. You can see all the beautiful of the Masai Mara, or the Mara Triangle. A lot of open areas with old trees here and there. Lots of animals in it, zebras. Elia, good question. Do zebras like to run? Yes, you'll see them. I'm sure you have seen horses, Elia. And sometimes horses, where they're kept, they'll always sometimes just decide to run and gallop, And zebras do the same. When they run, we also say they gallop. So once in a while, they will run, and they will run to practice. Should anything chase them, they'll be in good shape to run, and they can outrun anybody who is chasing them. So remember, boys and girls, I asked you a question. whether zebras are white with black stripes or are they black with white stripes. Keep looking at those stripes and tell me what you think. Or do you want to say they're half black, half white? Maybe. So look at the mane on the neck or on top of the neck. It's just like the same mane you would see in a horse. So zebras and horses are the same family. But most important, all the zebras you see here with their stripes, all those stripes are different from each zebra. Can you imagine? So when you look on your thumbs, I'm sure your teachers will show you, they'll tell you your thumbs are very different from each person. And it's the same case to the stripes of the zebras. Zebra stripes are very different from each other. Not one zebra will have the stripes similar to the other as much as they may look identical. That's a very normal posture for zebras when one is eating facing one side and the other one the other side. So should an enemy come from one side, they can see. So one can look north, the other one south, or one can look east and the other one west. All right, boys, girls, I'll take you back to Steve, and maybe Steve might be telling you goodbye as we keeping on.
Welcome back, boys and girls, again to the Mara. I hope you've had a wonderful afternoon with us. Very educational, seeing all sorts of wonderful animals as well. I hope you've learnt a few things. And next time when you join us, you'll have lots more questions to ask. And I'm really sorry I don't know about the belly button on a cheetah. Something I'm going to have to investigate though, because that's a very interesting question. It would be a funny thing to see if they had one. I don't think they've got one. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We had one final surprise for you though, that I wanted to show you just before you said goodbye. And well, there it is. There is a lion, as promised. Yay! We found you a lion. And well, that cheetah was very close to this lion when we first found him. And well, lions don't like cheetah. So that cheetah is going to move very far to get away from this individual. I'm going to try to see if I can identify who she is. But difficult for now with the light. But we promised you lions this afternoon, so I'm glad we were able to deliver. And so thank you once again to both of you schools for joining us. It has been a wonderful outing this afternoon. We managed to show you lots of animals, and well, next time hopefully we can show you some more. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we will see you next time. Goodbye. Hello everybody, welcome back. You are back with us live, and we have found lions in the bushes. I'm hoping it's the Reno Pride. We've been looking for them and looking for them and looking for them. I'm not sure. We could see them from a distance. This lioness has stopped in the long grass there. There is a enormous herd of wildebeest and the like that side. There's more lions coming up the back here. Is it the Awenos? There's another 3 coming. We could be lucky. We've been searching all week, folks, for the Owino Pride, and they're very easily identified by, yes, it is them, I think it is them. Oh, hang on, there's an extra lion here. This is not right. Okay, we're going to stop right there, and let's see if we can see exactly who they are. They're walking straight towards us now. I think it is them. Going to have a good look at the young male. He's at the back. If he is indeed a pale male. But it might also just be a remnants of the Olololo Pride, a breakup of them. We are in the area. Beautiful lioness, nonetheless. Here she comes. Bless you. They are on the move early this afternoon, which is magical to see lions moving at this time of day with this light. And see, she's squinting a bit. Even her pupils are as tiny as they could be, because there's a lot of light coming in right now. Needs to sort out her aperture setting. It's not unheard of for lions to hunt in the middle of the day. Hello, beautiful. Walking right past our car here. This is so cool. So cool. Oh, Vicky, there's no chance. Here's another male. This is not the Owino Pride. Are you a male? No, you're a female. My mistake. Sorry, ma'am. Vicky, we want to know who would win in a lion versus cheetah fight. Well, the average female lioness weighs 130 kilograms, 140 kilograms, so close to 300 pounds. The biggest cheetah ever recorded weighs about 130 pounds. So, oh, hey, don't sniff my car. Sorry, you've got to tell these lions not to get too close. This is indeed the Owino Pride, ladies and gentlemen. This young male here is the pale male with an injury on the inside of his left back leg. We're going to see him shortly. Well, we can see him clearly right now, but the wound on the inside of his back leg is healing nicely. He's got a nice pale sort of coloration to him, and he's also going to walk straight past the car. Hello, boy. We've been looking for you guys. Hey, don't smell my car. They're very rude, these lions. Very rude. Okay, well, we're going to turn around in a moment once we've ascertained that this male lion has moved past. Well, it is all, see, apart from me nearly rolling the car, it's all happening this afternoon. Jamie is with the one and only Hokomori.
The Hokomori who has spotted something else. So, shame. The poor kids, I promised them a leopard, or said I was trying to find them a leopard, and I did find one. But he was right in the middle of a hunt. And we do have a policy, especially with young kids, that unless we're given the go-ahead, we don't show them a potential kill. So he's seen something else. Look at that. He missed a scrub hare a little bit earlier. If you want to rewatch it, you can find the action broadcast, or unscheduled broadcast, or whatever we're meant to call them now. I think it's unscheduled broadcast on our Facebook page. Not allowed to call them action broadcasts. Naughty Jamie. I shall be beaten later. Flogged. And my fingers ironed. So he missed the scrub hare. But I don't think the scrub hare's actually gone too far away. And I think that's what he's looking for now. He must be particularly hungry, unless he was just being very opportunistic. Doesn't look that hungry. He hasn't eaten in a while. But the good news, folks, is that he's actually moved further away from the boundary of Djuma, further into Djuma, which is, I suppose, good news for us in the sense that at least we should have him for an extended period of the sunset safari. I don't want to count my hukus. I don't want to count my hukus before they hatch. I think I'm hilarious. Probably not, but I really feel it. For those of you that don't know, huku is chicken. It's so funny. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I've still got a pile of elephant dung on the front of the car that I was going to show the kids. Oops. Ah well. As you know, best laid plans of mice and safari guides. No, I'm probably not going to keep it for safe. Oh, look, wait, hold on. We're off again. He's seen something else. What has he spotted? Frozen in time once again. For those of you that missed the sunrise safari, this was my first time seeing Hokomori. Well, what are you doing? What an odd tail he has. Does not seem to have the fluffiest white tip to it. It's sort of thin. I mean, it has the white tip. He look a little bit like he's walking quite stiffly. Not limping exactly, just stiff-jointed. Like he went too hard at the gym and it's 2 days later. Ashley, you say this is also your first time seeing him, and he's huge. He's something. He's not big. Obviously, you can't judge or gauge the size. Let's catch up with him. You can't really gauge size from looking through the eyes of the camera, but he, to me, is not actually that much bigger than Hosanna. Yet there's something intimidating about him that makes him look bigger than he is. I don't know if it's just our association with him. Does that make sense? You know, as the potential threat to Tlalamba, to Thandi herself, to Hosanna, all our beloved animals that we've come to know, I think might have coloured our view slightly, but there is something physically intimidating about his face. Just see if he goes flat on that termite mound. No. Okay, we'll catch up with him around the corner. There's a nice big open spot up ahead. Alrighty. As we catch up with the Hukumuri, I won't say it like that anymore, I promise. Let's go across to Lauren, who has found herself a big cat. Well done, Lauren.
Good afternoon. Yes, from one cat to another, we do have 3 lions here, all very sleepy at the moment, and they're actually different lions from different prides. So the one you're looking at this now is a very healthy looking male lion, and he is from the Talamate pride. And we have another 2. Oh, it's making some noise. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but the male lion's making noise over here. Oh, just moments ago he was sleeping. Good afternoon. Wow. He is a big boy. Yes, isn't he just gorgeous and very sleepy, might I add? And we do have 2 other boys who are way more sleepier, if that's possible. And these boys have a little bit of a different story. So these 2 males here are from the Mangeni pride, and both of them have been quite severely affected by mange. Now, this is just a condition when little mites get into the hair follicles of the skin and cause some sort of allergic reaction, and it causes the cats to scratch furiously at themselves. Oh, we're getting a go. One just turned doors for us there. Look at that. Look at the size of the paw. That is huge. I'm just looking at my own hand here, and wow, that is massive. So yes, both these boys have been infected by these mites. Yes, King Crod, big belly, big cat. It just literally rolled over to say hello. So they have been quite seriously affected. They have been quite affected. Oh, there's other lions roaring. Sorry, there's a lot happening here. Leopard, sorry. The 2 sleepy boys haven't picked up on this, but the one that is slightly more awake definitely has. Oh, I wonder how close by that leopard is. Oh, they don't seem too bothered though. I don't believe that is an expression of much care there. Sorry, a lot is happening. What I was trying to say was these 2 poor boys that do have mange, but I have seen them previously in quite bad condition, and they are improving. That was the point I was trying to get out before all the other animals decided to call. So it definitely looks like these 2 are getting slightly better, and that could be possibly because the weather's changed, and they have been following the Nkahuma pride around, who are apparently on the reserve at the minute as well. So they have probably had a lot more access to food and a little better protection. So I personally think these boys are improving a lot, which is a good sign. And they look quite happily snoozing away there. So while we stay with these sleepy boys and see exactly what happens, we're not going to leave them for a while yet. Let's go all the way up to the Mara with Steve, who also has lions.
Action-packed Owinos. Well, folks, it is official. We are with the Owino Pride, the 5 lions, 2 adult lionesses, so 2 young lionesses, and the very beautiful white boy who is walking quite well. This is one of the young girls. She's following one of the adults that has just slinked behind us and gone into the thickets. Well, it's very promising that the lions are moving at this time of day. We have been searching these areas tirelessly. In the background, the top of the hill you just saw is where our camp is. So we've been searching every day in and out of these areas, and well, they've probably just been hiding underneath some bushes. But for them to be moving now is a very promising sign. Here comes one of the other ones. I'll see who she is. Isn't she pretty? She's one of the other young lionesses, it seems. Gorgeous. The light is just perfect. And then the boy will be coming up shortly after her, which is quite a surprise because he's normally at the back. But the pale lioness by the name of Lychee is coming from the back, and she'll be joining the pride shortly. And well, once they've all done a little walk by, we're going to reposition ourselves and see exactly what it is that they're up to. I can see the other 2 behind me, so we've still got view of them, so don't worry, haven't lost them. There's the boy, here he comes on the left, James. And the boy's coming now, there he is. Let's have a look at his back left leg. We'll see that injury that was on the inside of his hip. It is a very awkward place to get your skin damaged, but you see it's healed nicely. But you see, when you injure that part of your body, like your elbow, or not your elbow, your armpit, or the inside of your thigh or something, is very awkward because you got to walk and you got to move. And well, in lion society, you have to keep moving. But look how nice his back leg is healed. Roshni, the lionesses do look like they enjoy the gym in the Mara. The lionesses are in a very, very good shape. And the last lioness has just come into picture, James. That's the pale lioness there, affectionately known as Lychee. She's a little bit pale in color compared to her sister. A little bit paler. But she's a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous lioness. And, well, she's definitely been to the gym. See that barrel chest on her. Dark nose gives away that she's older. Generally, younger lions have got a very pinkish sort of nose. And the older they get, it generally goes a bit darker. For what purpose, I do not know. It might just be with age. Excessive sunburn, perhaps. But the wind is humping towards these lions. And, well, I can still see the other group behind us. And, well, they seem to be moving in the general direction of what is an enormously combined herd of buffalo and zebra, and a combination of all sorts of other little things. James can show you on that side in the open plain here. Let's see what we can see. There is a huge aggregation of animals out there. There's some cars out there as well. There is a huge herd of buffalo, and keep going right, you'll see all the zebra. And, well, Angel, indeed, she is gorgeous and really, really special to be able to find the Owino Pride again. And, well, I'm going to move because there's a small portion of that zebra herd that is just off to the right. We're not going to be able to frame it, and they seem a little bit isolated from the rest, and even further right than that. So we're going to go see if we can keep up with them. We're going to give them some space, but the Owino Pride, ladies and gentlemen, are indeed looking hungry, and we are excited to find them. As I said, I think for this entire week and half of last week, I've been searching for the Owino Pride unsuccessfully. And then we saw some vehicles in the block. They had followed up on the cheetah that we'd found this morning, that we had a little while ago. He's still down that side. A lot of vehicles with him now, so we decided let's rather go and see what lions those were, because these guys we've been looking for. And they're moving through here, and just in front of us at about 12 o'clock the side of the bushes there, there's a few lone zebra that are kind of isolated on the outskirts of the herd. The wind is coming this direction, and well, who knows what could happen next. But down in South Africa, Jamie is still with a very cool leopard, and his name is Hukumuri.
He is a cool leopard. He's very much a cool cat. He's suave, he's in control, he's seen something, actually. By the way, when I said he was moving further onto Djuma, I didn't mean that he was any further than he normally is. What I meant was actually that he went north instead of going west. So he's still on the right on the fringes of his territory and of Tingana's territory. So he's not in any way close to Hosana. Oh. Oh. He actually growled when he stood up there. I don't know if it was just an accidental puff of air. Where are we off to? Lauren's just let me know that apparently there was a leopard calling. Is that correct, Emma? On Cheetah Cut Line. He could have heard that, you know. He really could have. Let's just see if he calls in response. I can't hear it from where I am, but that's because I've got pathetic, puny human ears. Be very cool if he responded, because Lauren's almost on the eastern boundary of Djuma. I'm almost on the western boundary. There's probably a good, what'd you say, Craig, 2.5 k's between us? Somewhere around there. And Hosana somewhere in the middle, actually. Come on. Let's see if he was hearing that call. How cool would that be? Just goes to show how far they can hear. Because that's where Lauren is. I'm giving the distance to Lauren, but he's probably even further, and the wind is blowing in the wrong direction. Come on, Okamori. Please? Okay, fair enough. I know the feeling. Sometimes I get days when I don't want to either. Okay, up we go. And we're off. Let me just adjust my blanket booster seat. It appears to have folded in on itself, making it slightly uncomfortable because I'm currently sitting like this. Oh, tree! Gary! You want to know if you can judge the age of a leopard by the vibrancy of its coat? No, not really. You can't even really gauge their health, to be honest, without really knowing a lot about that leopard and knowing it very intimately. I would say that the best way to age a leopard is to have a look at its teeth. The older and yellower the teeth look, the more worn they are, the older the leopard. With males, you can sort of go off size, but again, different genetics give you different size leopards. So Hosana is going to be bigger than Hukumuri when he's Hukumuri's age. Oh dear. Hold on, folks. We're going on a little mission. So Hukumuri is actually quite a small leopard. Watch out there, Craig. He's going to take me straight to the clearing, but I can't risk losing him. We're all good. We're all good. He's here. Whee. I think he's going to the next termite mound. So let's just see if he stops here. Otherwise, things do get a bit tricky. What was I saying? Oh, aging leopards. The development of the dewlap in the... Ooh. Mind Aardvark Central? No, we're okay. The development of the dewlap in leopards, let me give you a view of him, because it's no fun looking at the back of my head the whole time. Much better to look at the back of his head. There's also one way that you can age leopards, but again, it's not an exact science. Some leopards are just destined to be bigger than others. You've seen something else again. Sorry, I've got to take my foot off the brake. It's not Craig's camera work. It's me. Darren, you say that Tingana would not be happy. No, I think he's aware that Hukamuri is around this area. I think that leopards actually know where the sort of rivals are at most points in time. What have you seen? Look at the tail in concentration. I don't know what he's seen. He's a difficult one because he keeps hunting little things. At least when he's hunting impala or something, it's much easier to gauge when you can move and when not to. I think we can move now while he's lying down, but I'm not going to go round to his face because I don't want to unsettle a scrub hair or something and flush it before he's had a chance to sneak up on it. Oh, no, wait, where are you going? See, you've seen something over the top of this termite mound. I just want you to see his body language. It's really very cool. See, he's found another warthog burrow. Let's go see. I think we can move now. He's not hiding. Let's go see if he's found some poor unsuspecting warthog. Ooh, Elise. Rosalind, I mentioned that he could hear Tingana calling. You want to know how good a leopard's hearing is? Spectacular. Infinitely, infinitely better than that of a human being. Not infinitely, but a lot better than a human being's. I think he's found a warthog. Right, now, speaking of hearing things, I haven't fully answered your question, but we'll come back to it. Speaking of hearing things, I mentioned that Hukamuri heard something off in the distance. Perhaps it was Mr. T.
Yes, from one cat to another, we have found Mr. Tingana. And this was the calling that we heard when we were with the lions. So, believe it or not, this is my first time in the presence of this spotted cat. And I'm quite in awe, to be honest. And my cameraman, who I believe I forgot to mention earlier, Mr. James Hendry, is very happy that Tingana decided to sit down and just stay right next to us for a while. So we managed to locate him all the way from where we were with the lions, and he was sawing, which is the noise that leopards make. It's like the leopard version of a roar. And of course, Mr. Tingana is the father of Hosanna, who I have spent a lot of time with since being here, but this is my first time meeting Tingana. And wow, he does look so much older and so much bigger. We did actually catch him in the middle of the toilet when we first arrived, and now he's just resting next to the marula tree. Hello, nice to meet you, Tingana. So this is obviously a much older leopard than Hosanna. Tingana's due to turn 13 soon. There we go. Did you hear that? It's like he performed on cue. That was the sawing noise that I was talking about. And he just did it as if he knew exactly what we were talking about. Thanks, Tingana. Oh, he's very alert. This is what we heard him do all the way from the lions. Yes, Catherine, I love that sound too. It's really unusual. I hadn't heard it before coming out here. I haven't actually even heard Hosanna do it. Only Tinkana. Hosanna's too young to do that noise. But hopefully we will see him, or hear him, sorry, do that very soon. But Tinkana's famous for his sawing. And look at that huge dewlap under his chin. It's really big and quite prominent on Tinkana. I wonder if he's aware there's lions very close by. So it's been a cat-filled journey today, from the lions to the leopard. Now you can see his ears are twitching and moving, so he's obviously listening a lot. And Em's just said all the viewers are loving the cat. Yes, so am I. Especially my first sighting with this one. Oh, we're getting up. A nice slow walk ahead. Wow, wasn't that incredible? It is chilly. I've even put my jumper on myself. The weather's getting much colder. And Tinkana is obviously on the move. I wonder where he's heading off to. He looks a bit limpy. I don't know whether he's stiff on the back leg or he's had an injury, but he does look like he's limping slightly with those back legs there. Off he goes. So we're just going to start the car and go follow him. So again, we're going to go from cat to cat, and we're going to send you up north to Steve, who has lions in the Mara, while we follow Mr. Tinkana here.
Next, it's all happening. Well, they tried to sneak up on a zebra family. The zebra family was moving directly into the thicket that they were crouched down in, and well, one of the youngsters, being inexperienced and probably not that hungry, because was just standing there like this with its head up, and the zebra obviously spotted it and ran away. No doubt the adults were very upset. We could only see the youngster, but we were watching the zebra move precariously closer in, and now they've started playing again, just coming around to see if we can get another look at them. All the cats out today. Is it cat today? It can't be. It's only Thursday. We'll take it though. Oh, hello. Hello, lions. You are beautiful. Now they're looking to that first herd of zebra that we spoke to you about earlier. They're a little bit annoyed about the youngster who foiled the last hunt. And that is her behind this lioness. The adults in the front. And after foiling the hunt, she came and started playing with the adults, of course, in typical lion sort of posturing and tails and all sorts of running around. Suddenly a very fearsome animal turns into a little pussycat. It's always very cool to see. Well, this is perfect lion sort of habitat with these scattered bushes, allowing them to sneak up on unsuspecting prey that might be slowly grazing through these areas. The long grass is slowly disappearing with the herds that emerged and, well, that moved through, and one by one they've been moving off, but there's still a lot of animals around, and we know Pride, another one in the background, is looking and going, okay, what do I, there's another one. You can see the male, he's quite pale, but good to see he's in good shape. They've just been in here somewhere. We've been missing them, I'm sure. You can imagine how easy it would be to drive past a pride of lions lying flat in these thickets. Well, while our lions regroup and gather their strength, Hukumuri is looking for something. Could it be a warthog?
This is ridiculous. There's so much going on this afternoon. Hukumuri's flushed a scrub hair once again. He's chased it in here. And now the poor thing is hiding terrified somewhere around here. Oh, there he goes in. This is the world's most terrifying game of hide and seek. This is the hide and seek that nightmares are made of. Honestly, I have no... Hold on. Oh, we're going that side. No, we're going back around again. Is he not sure, Emma? I don't think so. He's keeping us guessing. A moment earlier, while you were with Steve and Awino's dashing around, he went to scent mark, and I think he basically scent marked on the scrub hare. And this poor thing came flying out. He went for it. He missed. There's just so much going on. Okay. All right. No, we're good. I think he's given up on the poor scrub hare, who is hiding somewhere, going. Shame. Oh, now we're going on to the termite mound. Roshni, I know, scrub hares are not exactly an animal with a slow heart rate, but at the moment it must be positively thudding away in that tiny chest. This is really horrendous, Hukumori. This is absolutely revolting. There's just stumps everywhere. Right. The ridiculous luck of this afternoon continues. We've got two dominant leopard giants of Juma, and David has managed to find something very small and very precious.
Yes, finally I have arrived at the Sausage Republic, and very well done, Steve Ovo, with the cheetah earlier and the Winos much later. And we got that that band of joy just watching us and saying good afternoon, David and Manu. This is one of the cabs of the Sausage Tree Pride, and we just found the pride, 4 of the females, or the 4 of the 5. That's very good, young, well done. We're thinking now this one should be going to about 7 weeks old, this cab. And my belief that could be the mother. And the mother of this one is called Limpy. That's the other member of the Sausage Tree Pride. And we've got 2 others that are just laying somewhere on the ground. And this one staying on the vantage point of the termite mound is for the obvious reason to see the surrounding, look at what would be prey, or look also what could be an enemy, for example, hyena, which would come and maybe get this cab, or unwanted lion males. Look at how she's focusing, looking. And I'm guessing this could be Limpy, not very sure. We got 5 total of this Sausage Tree Pride, and one of them has a kink tail, or a knot on the tail, we call her kink tail. And this small little cab here, which is very anxious and just looking at us and getting curious. Do you want to yawn, or do you want to come close to the car? Not sure that to say this is teenage behavior, but he's wondering what we are made of. And M, the final control, says this is pretty gorgeous. And remember, you can interact with us on the YouTube chat. It's another very good yawn. Or are you trying to come here? Or on Twitter using hashtag SafariLive. She made a few steps towards us, and then she just there, not knowing I'm watching her as much as she's watching me. You're yawning a lot today, eh? Are you hungry? Now, the other 2 cubs of the other, or one of the other females here, which are much older than this, and I would guess they could be going to almost 3 months now. Brewery, you say that is cute, great comment, and you could not ask for a better, sighting than a mother in a cab just watching at us. Now, total of the Sausage Tree Pride are 5 females. We have been able to identify 2, and I think the one you're watching with the cab is called Limpy, and there's another one that when you look on her tail, she got a knot on the tail, and we call her kink tail, which you think is the oldest female among the 5. Now, we got 4 of the 5, and I do not know where the 5th one is, but my guess is the 5th one is one that has been pregnant, and I was wrong in guessing at the time she would be bringing down her new cubs. And if she's not here, my thinking is she could be somewhere, maybe having dropped her cubs already. just guessing this is Kinky because she's very close to that one cub. And we, not Kinky rather, Limpy. We call her Limpy because I think during the migration on one of the hunts, she might have sprained her ankle and her walking has not been very good. She looks much better on her walks than she was, I would say, 2 months ago. So we'll just be waiting. Hopefully she's going to rise and walk and going to see her walking style, and maybe hopefully the fifth female that is missing, in action here will show up. Well, Tingana is always a big male leopard with Lauren.
So again, we are still with Mr. Tingana. We're just moving to get a little bit of a better location. Bear with us. It's a bit bumpy in the back there. Oh! So here we've got a much better view for you. Now, while we've been watching, Tingana has actually been scent marking. We've just watched him rub his cheek glands on a sort of low-hanging bush there, marking his territory. That's one way he did it. And then he actually scooshed some urine out over the same bush. So this is Mr. Tingana's way of marking his territory. So he's been quite active in the time that we've been with him, and he has moved a lot, and all in that time marking his territory. So he is obviously a much older territorial male who does hold the territory here that Hosanna is currently in, and this is how he is marking it. Can you just repeat that, Emma? What was from genetics? Just one more time. Yes, I believe so, Minamu. I do believe that that would be genetic. He's not stationary at all. We're going to have to move again. He's keeping me on my toes today, that's for sure. So we're just going to move to get a much better view. Not really for me, but for my camera operator. There we go, he's moving off ahead just in front of us here. And we're just going to go follow him to get a better view. There we go. You see him walking just up ahead. He's definitely going somewhere today. He's a tricky one for sure. There we go. We'll just give him a little bit of space just now. Okay, so while we try and get into a better position for you all, oh, there we go. That's what I was just talking about. He's scent marking using his urine. That's what he was just doing earlier. Yes, thank you, Tingana. So while we try and get into a better position for you, let's go over to Jamie with another spotted cat.
Well done, Tingana, in keeping Lauren on her toes. Hukamori's keeping us on our toes as well. Really well and truly. I have to warn you that if he keeps going north, although I don't think he's going to go any further east, which might be our saving factor here. Oh, there goes the scrub hare. The poor scrub hare. I wonder if it's the same one. Can you see it there, Craig? I've lost it now. It's two. There's two. I was about to say, I wonder if it's not the same scrub hare that he's chased the entire time. If it is, then they're clearly not very bright. Plus, there's two of them, so I guess not. He's now completely lost interest in them. On to the next thing, whatever the next thing may be. Miss Anna, you say that the hook looks quite cute. I think it's a good way to look at him. I don't know if cute would necessarily be the word I chose. He looks very buff while he's sitting like this and scarred and manly. But yes, I kind of get exactly what you're saying. He's actually got very nice eyelashes when he turns his head sideways, when you get a profile. We should start to think of him with a modicum of respect. Hey, Hukumuri, but he's so horrible about you. He will be the bad guy just in the same way Tingana was, as Mvula once was. It's just the way of things, as Hosanna might one day be, to some people. The bad guy who is a potential threat to existing cubs, and a beloved dominant male. Now, well, you missed the scrub hair. I can see two. I've seen two already. Must say, I'm quite impressed with his abs. He looks like he's got very powerful abdominal muscles. You know. Right, we're going to stick with Hukumuri, but since he is doing his best to look thoroughly adorable, I think you'll all agree that no matter how cute the Hukumuri is, he'll never quite be sausage tree cub cute.
Well done, Lauren, for having spotted Hukumuri. Keep him close, don't lose him, because Hukumuri will surprise you sometimes with bringing down a pig or a warthog. Now, the latest edition of the Sausage Tree Pride has decided it's time to have some early dinner, and you can see now she just decided to nurse. He just decided to nurse, and the mother just repositioned herself, and the boy is there now nursing. It's a boy because you've been able to identify he is a boy 100%. I hope you just saw that below the tail. And I think now we should be giving him about 2 months old. Now, these two cubs, this one cub, there were two initially, and Limpy unfortunately lost one. And this is about 3 weeks ago, or going to about a month, and none of us out here know what might have happened. We have had our own theories, our own guesses, but out here in the wilderness, this is how, or that's how things play out. And we are all having wild guesses. It could have been a leopard, it could have been a hyena, it could have been a snake bite, or he could have just, went astray, and before the mother came to rescue him, some snake, say for example python, or an eagle, even eagles like the martial eagles have been known to prey on them. You see, like that big forest behind there, we'll always see big eagles like martial eagles just perched up there. And should a lioness make a mistake like that eagle, get, or even crown eagles, which love such thickets. There's a bird there, I'm not sure it's a vulture. Yeah, it looks like a vulture to me. Yes, there's a vulture there, maybe the African white-backed vulture. And when vultures, or when not hinds, but when eagles could be in a place like that, and they're watching because they got very good vision, and maybe a lioness makes a mistake and leave a cub, and the eagles spot that, they'll very quickly take advantage and fly down, pick it up with her talons, and go and eat it. Well, this will keep enjoying the nursing as we wait to see where the other two cubs are from one of the other female of the Sausage Tree Pride. But I think Steve's lions are more active than my pride here.
Well, we've got some youngsters here as well. I made a mistake when we looked earlier and we saw the two lionesses, are in fact the two youngsters in the pride, two sisters who are very loving and very playful. The adults are somewhere here in the thickets. We're not sure what they've done, and probably sulking a bit after these two youngsters ruined the hunt for them before. Or maybe they've snuck off somewhere to try and find some food while these two aren't paying attention. And we're calling just before, that classic little low oomph that lions do to call each other. You can see they're both young. The cubs were born in March, April last year, in April, May last year. One, the male with his sister, both pale. She was unfortunately killed by the Sausage Tree Pride in October of last year, and it's official that this pride was in fact part of the Sausage Tree Pride until they turned on them for some reason. Lauren, indeed, the Owino Pride, they're actually known as the small sausages. They were actually part of the Sausage Tree Pride until last year, apparently, and when the Sausage Tree Pride turned on this small pride, killing the young pale lioness, who was only a few months old, so born in, April and killed in October, so still quite a youngster. Her brother still is around. When he's here somewhere, his injury is healed, but these two lionesses are looking for where Mum has gone. Where are you, Mum? Going to call now. Probably a little low oomph coming in a moment. Well, at least we haven't lost the pride. We'll be able to follow these two that are going to be very playful until then. How can you hunt when you've got two youngsters playing around like this? It's not really that easy, is it? Often the adults will let them play and then disappear into the thickets and then provide some dinner. I suppose that's what parents do, don't they? When you're just too boisterous, they send you outside to play while they get dinner prepared. Well, anyway, an animal who doesn't mess around, he marks his territory regularly. Lauren is with the Duke of Djuma.
We are still with the Duke, and at the moment he is doing the toilet. We're getting a wonderful view of that. However, he's just been non-stop scent marking. He must be on territorial patrol. He's constantly on the move, which means we're going to have to move as well and catch up with them. And he's just scent marking everywhere, spraying his urine and his cheeks. Again, we're going to move the car. This is a very active drive for me. Bear with me. Where are you going, Tingana? Okay. Sorry, we're just catching up. Can you repeat that question, Emma? I'm sorry. I'm obviously not as good as multitasking as I thought I was. I have absolutely no idea what you're saying, Emma. I'm not going to lie right now.
He wants to know, what was it like hearing him saw?
Oh, what was it like hearing him saw? James translated. I'm sorry. There's an accent thing. So I will answer your question now. It was absolutely incredible. It's a noise like I cannot describe. It's not very cat-like, to be honest. So I'm just going to turn around this corner. Yes, it's a noise like no other. And it really doesn't sound like it's coming from this animal in front of us right now, but it is. It's very unique to leopards. And it definitely cannot be described anything like a roar of lions. So we finally managed to catch up with him, as you can see, but he's still moving. Let's just see where he goes from here. Non-stop. So now we're going to go from one spotty cat to the other and go and see Hukumuri.
There are many things that Hukumuri can claim. He is a spectacular leopard. He's done very well at maintaining a territory, but he's completely useless when it comes to hunting scrub hare. He's just gone for another one. I'm just trying to see which way he's going to go because he's sort of looking that way. He's hidden behind these guarri bushes off to my right. He just watched two of them walk past. He then went for one, tried to pounce far too quickly, missed the one that was running straight at him. This is not his forte. I'm going to stick to warthogs. Shame. I wonder why he is trying to hunt scrub hares. Here we go again. There are some impala not far from here, but he seems to be obsessed with the scrub hares. Now he's got another one in his sights. Oh, I can see it. Canoe says no hare hunting skills. That is hilarious. I can see the scrub hare. There it is. No, he is not good at this at all. In fact, I almost feel as though that the scrub hares are now taunting him. I really feel that he's onto a losing wicket here. Roshni says it's raining cats and cats. I know. It's not even cat a day, and we've got cats coming out of every bush, sort of, so to speak. I'm definitely not going to get to the hyena den this evening, which was originally my plan. Thursday. Like that. Thursday. It is a wonderful Thursday. Maybe not so much for Hukamuri. No scrub hair fur for him. Why scrub hairs, buddy? Seems like an odd choice for such a big male leopard. Renowned warthog killer. Ah, leopards are opportunistic. Whatever presents itself. Where's that other scrub hair gone? It was coming in this direction. I've lost track of it. It was off to his right. I think he's seen it. Or heard it. No. Everything's gone still again. Stopping to listen. You can also hear some arrow-marked babblers in the background. Hook? What now? How many scrub hare hunting attempts has that been? We've watched probably 7, 8 stalks now. All of them incredibly unsuccessful. But I mean, not even close. Oh, no. I thought I saw movement, but it was just a patch of dirt on my monitor. Oh. Now we're going again. Belly crawl. Do you see? Oh, no. It's right there. It's right there. Look, I mean, it's right there on the left side of your screen. Craig spotted it. Oh! He's looking in the... He wasn't even looking at it. Those poor scrub hairs. Hairs, as my mother would say. South Africans have a terrible way of pronouncing that. We say hair. You know, I'm going to go brush my hair, and it's a scrub hair, but it's actually a hair. Yes, no? Is there another scrub hare that we have not seen? There, I see it. I see it. It's off to the right. I just saw a twitch of movement. Oh, well, he's obviously not interested in it because he's gone in the opposite. No, he is. He's just looking for cover. Tassels, you want to know how old Hukamuri is? I confess I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure what the standard guesses are. He looks to me to be quite young, quite a bit younger than Tingana. 7-ish at a guess? I'm not 100% sure. I'd be happy and open to correction. # SafariLive on Twitter. I should know. I haven't seen him before. I'm not 100% sure. I hadn't seen him before today. He looks to me about 7-ish, if I had to guess. Maybe even 6. Cal 6, you say 5 or 6. Okay. Fair. That would mean that he's still got some growing to do, so maybe he's not as small as I thought he is, and perhaps he's just got some developing still to go. I'm impressed with his territory claiming skills at that age. He's nestled between 2 giants of the sands, Tingana and Anderson. Although I think Anderson was always bound to move a bit further south. Okay. I know it's not the best view, but I'm just going to stop here because I'm not sure where the next scrub hare is going to be, and I don't really want to disturb them. Oh yes, I see impala. Now that is a much better sized animal. With a hook. Oof, one very pregnant female. We've still got quite a distance to cover before we get there, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. So what we do while we wait for Hukamuri to close the distance between the impala and himself, let's go back to the Mara and enjoy some more cub cuteness with David.
Well, Hukamuri to me is very unpredictable leopard, and you need to watch him carefully. He'll pretend, or he'll just be looking not to be doing anything of importance, and the next minute you'll see him jumping and maybe bringing a prey down. Well, our young addition here of the sausage tree pride is still nursing, still suckling milk from the mother, and his mother just seems to be enjoying the nap as this young cub is still nursing. While we have been here, we have been able to identify the other female next to Limpy, and that is a kinktail. For those who have never joined us before, this is the sausage tree pride. It always consists of 5 females, and now there are 3 cubs in this pride. Now, we have not seen the 2 other cubs, which are a lot older than this one. We are guessing now this one could be going to about 2 months, and the other 2 to about 3 months old. So we've got 4 females here, and we're missing 1. And we think the one that's not here is the one that has the 2 cubs. And maybe she would have stayed back somewhere, either eating, or maybe some little forest, or a lager, not very far from where Manu is panning. It could be possible that's where maybe she is. Sally, good question. How many cubs in a litter? After about 3 months and maybe a few days, 95, 100 days or so, lions or lionesses will get anything between 1 to 4. But the average in the Mara will be 2 cubs in a litter. In general, 2 cubs. Occasionally, we have seen lionesses getting 3. And also, one of these lionesses here had 1 cub that also mysteriously disappeared. Of the 4 here, 1 of them is pregnant, and to me, she might be popping up 3 cubs. We don't know when, but we're just waiting. It could be any time now. Typical of lions, just to lay down flat like this. And we have always thought it's only the males that will sleep when they are full, but females also do the same. Very energy efficient. Most cats and most of the lions than all the other cats I know. We're just suspecting with Manu in that forest there is where the 4th female should be, and he could be hanging out with some 2 males that have been visiting this area, and we got something interesting there, and that's the Savocat. Look at this, and I can tell you she has no idea that these lions are here. Well, we've seen lions once in a while going for Savocats, but this Savocat is definitely either walking through the grass but on a fast pace, not feeding or not looking for food. She's in a hurry, not sure where she is going. But make sure you don't bump into the lions because you've been in a lot of trouble. Of late, we've been seeing so many Savo cats. It's just sheer luck. And of all the cats of this size, the Savos have the longest legs. They need them to jump in the air. Look at that pattern behind the ear. Andrea, many thanks. Beautiful, beautiful, yes, I would say also amazing. And of all the cats that are spotted, I'm talking about Savos, cheetahs, leopards. To me, Andrea, this is the most beautiful. She's just looking at us, wondering what Manu is doing with the camera. And I doubt she can hear us because of the wind that's blowing at the moment. You can see how the grass is being moved by the wind. Hello there. Now, when they weave through the grass, they would be feeding either on rodents. They could also be looking for any insects in the grass. They also feed on reptiles. I'm talking about skinks or lizards. But they're very good in catching birds, and they can leap almost a meter high and catch a bird and bring it down. And using their paws, you see them slapping the birds just to kill it. I would just wish you should turn around and you see the back of the ears and see some two stripes. Yes, very good. Thank you for listening to me. That Manu is just laughing. He thinks we are communicating with her. But those stripes behind the ears, to me, are very striking. But also, unlike the spots that you see on cheetahs or the rosettes that you see on leopards, I think Savos have a combination of rosettes, spots, and also they got like lines behind their necks, like of the king cheetah. If you see the king cheetahs on their back, they have like lines or spots that are like elongated, more ovalish. And Savo cat, you are beautiful. Very solitary cats, like most cats are. You'll see two, it's maybe a pair, male and female. You see those lines I'm talking about? Thank you, Manu. You see, those are the lines I'm talking about. You're in a rush. Where are you going to? Well, I want to keep watching you and find out whether you want to catch something for yourself or some dinner. But I think Steve is still enjoying his lions.
Yes, I am indeed, David. How awesome is that? Cataday indeed. Thursday, cheetah, hukumuri, tingana, the Owino pride, the sausage tree pride, and of course, well, why not a serval on top of that? What more could we ask for? Well, the Owino pride is moving out of their sort of thicketed area. A little bit more open ground here where that herd of zebra we spoke about before was hanging out. There's less cover for the lions, but this is when lion stealth and skill comes into play. They are most certainly hungry for them to be moving before the sunset. They were hoping for an opportunity. Look at that lioness to the left of that one, David. She's got intention. She's spotting something. And what they'll be looking for is a weakness, an individual that's possibly away from the herd, maybe slightly isolated. The wind is in their favor. It's coming from our left-hand side. The lion is kind of moving across it. I'm sorry about any audio issues you might be having with me, folks. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But indeed, we are with the magnificent Owino Pride of 5. They are looking all very healthy. No doubt have been hiding away in these thickets for the last week, feeding on the abundance of animals that has been on offer. And well, that's why we haven't been able to find them. Cheeky lions. We've driven through here a number of times, but as I said, if they're lying flat down in those thickets, how can you find them? Here comes the one from behind. A little bit of attention going to be had over there. And we are in the IR spectrum, folks. And the light, as you know, has set. And these two lions are going to get stalked from the left. Oh, in comes... Obviously, it all happens behind the bush. Let me move forward. If we can see the attack that just took place from this young lioness as she tackled the other two. They can't help themselves, you know, these youngsters. There's just so much energy, pent-up energy. There we go. You can see how many insects there are in the light. Well, we have such an abundance of insect-eating birds at the moment. The birds are happy, the lions are happy. And they are slowly spreading out. We've got two have just gone behind us. There are two in front of us. And the young boy, well, where would he be but at the back, watching the ranks play out. Two have gone left, two have gone right. This is when lions do what they do best. They will have selected some prey item, almost unknown to us by some sort of facial expression, posturing, and then all of the lions will know, okay, she's looking at that one. And then once they have ascertained, there's one on a log over there, James, just on at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, she's just jumped on a log. Not sure if your IR is going to be able to pick it up, but she's getting a better vantage point, the one on the right. And the right there, she's on a small stump, having a beautiful view, see what she can spot. And anyway, talking about spots, Jamie is still with that very cool cat, Hukumuri.
Cool Cat has not moved from when you last saw him. It appears as though he has somewhat sensibly given up the hunt for scrub hares in favour of waiting patiently for the impala to move across in this direction. They haven't actually. To be honest, it looks as though they've moved further away. I can see one lone impala. It is that time of year when it becomes a lot easier for all predators to catch impala because, of course, it is birthing or lambing season, which means that there's a lot of very inexperienced, very stumbly babies wandering about. If not, there are some heavily pregnant females. The combination means that a lot of the predators get to take advantage of it. Of course, that's one of the breeding strategies of the impala, is to essentially flood the market, if you will, with little impala lambs, knowing that a fair number of them will not survive their early first few weeks and months. There we go, one more's come out into the open. I was saying to Craig, I wonder how often we drive past a herd of impala and there's a leopard sitting right here, just in this way, watching them. I know it's happened a fair few times where we've been lucky enough to spot the leopard, but I suspect the number of leopards that we've actually all driven past in our lifetime working in the bush is probably a much higher number than we would ever dare contemplate. I think we would probably weep, hand in our safari binoculars, and go and work in the city in a banking job if we actually knew how many leopards we've driven past. And cheetah. And probably lions as well, to be fair. Oh, hook is up. He's looking. Still a massive distance between them. It's probably about 150 or so yards between Hukumuri and the impala. Now, for a leopard, that is an insurmountable distance. Not an insurmountable distance, the wrong word. It is far, far too great a distance for him to launch a hunt now. He's going to have to creep around and show a little bit of patience as well. Those whiskers all standing to attention. Well, for me, it's been a day of getting acquainted with Hukumuri. the leopard that I've heard so much about, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to finally have a chance to see him. I think the only one I have to tick off the list is Shidulu. I haven't seen her either. Luckily, I've seen the most important little female, which is, of course, Tlalamba. I have managed to see her. All right, I'm not sure what the Hook has got planned. I think he might try and sneak around the edge of this open area and see if he can find himself a good vantage point. Now, unfortunately, it is a short sunset safari today. We've got rehearsals for our TV shows. So what that means is that it is actually time for us to say farewell to you all. We'll keep you updated. Join us tomorrow on the Sunrise Safari to find out exactly what went down with Hukumuri, Tingana, and all sorts of other things, the secrets that the night holds in store for us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you had a good safari, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Sunrise Safari.